hurricane, a tidal wave. Essence perfect, life looks brilliant. Give me more of this. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. Yeah, you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my hand again. Is it wrong? Is it right? It's like I've won my final war without a fight. I'm out of control, about to blow, and I've been caught in the undertow. So toxic, but I can't get enough. You bury me, bury me. I know you bury me, bury me. You've got me hypnotized. Push me out of myself. You've got me hypnotized. I can see, I can hear, going crazy, but the light has got me hypnotized. You've got me hypnotized. Get you out of my head. Get you out of my head again.
Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Pulls a coin and the odds seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me the storm is coming, I'm sick of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Now that I need you, why? Just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks a beat down, I cross the lines just to tell you. Don't lead the way, don't even say that I go with a color play in the rain. I feel like I'm fading.
Please note.
As you can tell by the title and my blurry face, this is Jason Derulo's episode. No, Jason Derulo was not in TNA, but he was riding solo. I'm riding solo. And that's me today, solo stream while I fix my camera. And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of Making an Impact. And this is going to be fun.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let 'em burn it out. Sell 'em to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies and fade away. We feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race. Wake it to back of the pack, kill it anyway. Listen up now, because we're never dropping out. Beat the hours, beat the big house. The brains are bigger than the doubt. We've been thinking for ourselves, never let the truth fade away. This is bigger than ourselves, we won't let the world burn away. Burn away, we feel betrayed. We were raised to lose the race.
I'll tell you what, that song has become very, very catchy. I'm going to sort the camera out 2 seconds while I do it. It's becoming a bit of a bugger. There we go. You can see my face a little bit more clearly. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to a brand new episode, episode 7. We are riding solo here today in this TNA Making an Impact episode. We've got a lot to discuss and a lot of things that I'm going to be honest about in this TNA episode. So if you haven't already and you are watching this either on our local establishment, Astrid Pizarro's channel, or Mark Talks Wrestling, make sure if you haven't already to smash the thumbs up button. Make sure you hit the subscribe and stick around for more content. If you have just joined earlier on in the build up, we did a calendar throughout the week that will get played a little bit later on as well. There are so many content creators with our local establishment now and so many top tier shows. You want to stick around for more that's coming. I will be back tomorrow for Elimination Chamber, and I will be back with Bobby on Sunday discussing all things in the world of sport, a little bit more in the Elimination Chamber, but there's been big breaking news that's happened this week regarding Reading Football Club. So I will be going into a deep dive about what could potentially happen to the football club. So make sure you stick around. Astrid as well does a lot of great work. She's not feeling well at the moment, so make sure you go over to X or go over if you're following her on any other socials as well. Make sure you go over there and give her a bit of love as well to get her prepping her steps so she can move forward. And she's recovering. She's recently got some news, but I'm going to leave that up to Astrid's page to sort of give you a little bit of background on what's going on in her words. That will make it better. But we are here today to discuss all things TNA. We got a few things here. We got Bobby's stats here. Hope you're doing well, Bobby. Hope you guys are doing well. I'm still waiting on Ed. I know last night you did the quiz as well. I'm waiting on Ed to send over what he wants the charity to be, and I will definitely change that to the charity of whatever it is, and I will be paying that as soon as I find out what that is. So make sure you stick around for that. Make sure you follow Bobby as well. He does excellent work. How you doing, Wait? I'm doing really well, my friend. Bit of a challenging week. I'm very tired from work. But at the same time, I wasn't here last Sunday with Bobby doing POV. I just wasn't feeling myself, and I needed to get my head straight. So I will be back with a vengeance this Sunday. So make sure you're doing well. And Bobby having a little bit of a chat there with Bobby. Bobby's having a chat. Bobby, we're in the Bobby multiverse right now. But yes. Thank you ever so much, ladies and gentlemen, for joining me here today, where we're going to be discussing all things TNA. If you see me looking down or looking over here, I'm basically getting my notes. So we're going to go through each of the sections. There's a couple of sections I'm going to be very vocal about of that. And there's other sections where I'm really happy about it. TNA had a bit of a mixture today. I'm going to give you my overall review without any spoilers if you haven't seen TNA already. It was a good show. It was a little bit disappointing in the show, I thought, from my end. There's a couple of storylines that they're still dragging out that shouldn't be dragged. But at the same time, there was a couple of matches in there that I really enjoyed. There's a massively excellent storyline that's going on right now with Santana and Mustafa Ali as well. So all things are looking up, all things looking well in that end. There's just a couple of things that I feel like TNA are scrambling, and they sort of haven't got an understanding of where to go and what to do. So I'm interested to see what your thoughts on that as well, with the viewers watching at home, to coincide with what I think about it as well. So without further ado, I'm going to change the banners every so often at the bottom of the screen for all the people that are either here, like OLE. This is it. I'm also going to put Brett's up now as well. Just so people can go over there. He's a fellow co-host as well with Astrid Pizarro that normally does the show. But Brett has got things that he needs to do today. He's going big time on us already. And also Astrid is recovering as well. So make sure if you haven't already, and if you're still around, put some hearts in the chat for Astrid Pizarro. I sound like a proper Twitch streamer there. Let's hit the likes. Let's hit the donations. Don't donate if you haven't got them. But we're going to kick things off with what happened, started off the show. Um, okay, okay. Things have. I've pressed buttons on my audio, and things are falling apart. Let me know at home if you can still hear me from that. I'm gonna check. Yeah, you can. That's fine. I'm just making sure. I have things in the background just to make sure it's all good. Thank you ever so much, Bobby, for that, for the love hearts. If she does pop up, if she's watching this back, Astrid, this is solely for you. Okay, thank you ever so much, Bobby. That is perfect. Thank you ever so much. But we had Hannah Montana, as I call her. She turned up with the system and Fandango. We don't call him JDC here because JDC is a horrible name. So Fandango come out as well with them, and in the background you saw them doing the dancey dance of Fandango. Moose coming out and saying that there's a difference between being the ruler and the franchise between him and Obafemi. Moose also addressed the fact that Jeff Hardy has now pinned him twice, and that will come into effect a little bit later on of why that is an importance for later on in the show. The Colóns, Myers said that there's a few people he trusts, and one of them is the Colóns. And they come out and said that they trust the system, they respect the system, and that they are looking to potentially working with them. I don't know. Right. So you've got Moose, you got Myers, you got the other one, you got Hannah Montana, you got Moose. Have I said Moose already? JDC, and then you got the Colóns. That's 7 people. Right? Now, my math might be not mathing, and I might be Steiner in here. But that's too many people in a group. So then this is, and people moaned about the bloodline. But I'm feeling like this group's getting a bit too big for fun. But that was a thing that's happened. But then at the same time, it leads on to what's going to be happening at Sacrifice, and we found out exactly what's going to be happening at Sacrifice a little bit later on as well. But we're going to get into that very soon as well. The system saying that they're going to have their backs. The Colóns saying that they're going to have the system's backs if the Colóns have their backs. Basically, they're going to have each other's back. Anyway, then we got cut to a backstage segment with Spitfire saying that they will give Botox by Elegance if they win a mohawk. Now, that will all come with later on in the night when it was going to be Spitfire versus Botox by Elegance in a Knockouts Tag Team Championship match. And the winner of that will have to be the loser of that will have to be the Concierges for the other side for 24 hours. But that comes later on in the show. And then it cuts to a backstage segment again where Leon Slater is basically facing down the system, going face to face with them all and sort of giving them the old British jib. And you got to love some of this. There was a point there where he went full British, full English when he was talking to them and he went, "Yeah, back up, bruv." And I went, I don't watch AEW and I don't care about that bruv machine. But here someone say that made me have feelings that I haven't felt in professional wrestling for a little while. But then we had and then the Hardys come up and they were the ones to back up. Yes, I think you're absolutely right. Bobby, if you stick with us, we're going to go through that in a little bit. If you stick with me to the end, I'm going to give my predictions on that as well. But yeah, that is a very good shout. Very, very good shout. And I think they're going to be also a 10-man tag just feels too much, but I'll get into that a little bit more a little bit later on. But we had the first NXT surprise where Oro Mensah, one of the members of Metaphor, with Noam Dar, Lash Legends, and Jakara Jackson, Oro Mensah in his TNA debut come out with a match against Mike Santana, which I thought was a really great match. I thought Mike Santana did really well to try and help Oro Mensah. There were times where Oro really was trying a bit too much and was overhyped. There's a very, very famous phrasing that WWE or Triple H has said to many competitors before. if you slow it down. If you feel like you can't go any slower, go slower. And that's what I think Oro Mensah needs to do a little bit sometimes. Slow it down. You're quick, and that's fine. Do it in segments. Don't try and do it the whole time. But Mike Santana did an excellent job of helping the youngster, putting him over. And then my favorite part happened of this TNA show. Yeah, absolutely. I like that NXT talent Oro Mensah got to showcase his skills in the ring. Absolutely, Bobby. I think you absolutely hit the nail on the head there. And it's really good to see that this NXT TNA partnership is really, really working out. And I think this is one of the major factors in it. You've got Oro Mensah, who hasn't really got a storyline currently in NXT with Noam Dar out, injured. You've got Lash and Jakara that looking like potentially going to the main roster, I think, in the women's tag team division. I think they're built for it. I think they're ready for it. Maybe Noam Dar goes up with them alongside Oro Mensah. Who knows? It's very much Oro needs to have a lot more in-ring rep before he carries on. But at the same time, I thought him showcasing some of the work he'd done, and the crowd really helped him as well. I think, Bobby, I think you can agree with that as well. The crowd really got behind him and started really pushing his ideas and the way that he was pushing things and the way that he's going. I thought it was brilliant. So I got nothing but praise for Oro Mensah. I've been a bit critical at times for Mike Santana, where he's been a little bit boring with the babyface stuff, going full Sami Zayn. But I know that that's a thing now in the wrestling industry where the babyface gets beaten down and then rises above from the ashes until their soul is taken away from them. More on that tomorrow. But very, very good. I really enjoyed this match. And then, as I was about to say, my favorite part of the show, the promo package that, yeah, I slightly remember him too, but not too much. I slightly remember him there, but not so much. I think I stopped really watching NXT UK. I think I watched the Gunther Dragunov match that they had in the BT or TNT studio, where there was 0 fans in there. There was just wrestlers, and it just felt weird. It just felt weird, and I didn't really watch NXT UK, and I shouldn't. I should have. But yeah, I remember him a little bit from there, and it's good to see that his character, or he has a character, and he's growing it as well. So it's really good to see for him, his point of view. I'm just hoping that he can carry this on and move this forward over into NXT, or do some more with maybe the X Division Championship, or the Digital Media Championship in TNA. He's not really going to get to the North American Championship, I don't think, anytime soon. So we'll be interested to see. But Mustafa Ali doing the he was Oliver Carter. Oh, okay. Different name and everything. Okay. Thank you for that, Bobby. But yeah, the promo package by Mustafa Ali. Oh, really harping on about the drinking of Mike Santana, of him being sober and how you can't trust him around alcohol. I thought it was brilliant. I think you're going to have to get Mike Santana to sign that off to say that he's happy with that. But by the sounds of things and looks of things, he looks like he's happy with it. So I'm not going to complain too much, but it was superb. I thought the build up to that, I thought the way that it was done, I thought everything about that promo package to really harp on this Santana versus Ali match that we're going to be getting. The issue is, I don't know where TNA are going to go with this. You can't have Mike Santana lose because he just beat Josh Alexander to be the standard bearer of TNA. But you can't have Mustafa Ali lose because he's just rejoined the company. So I'm not really sure, unless you do a cheating angle of Ali winning. I think that's the only way you can go about that. But yeah, then we moved into the next match where it was Tessa Blanchard versus Kelsey Heather in this battle. Tessa Blanchard obviously getting the reception that she got, but her in-ring work was really shone in this match. I thought Kelsey Heather tried the best that she could. A superstar I never saw of, and she looks like a really good up-and-coming star. She's one of those that I would expect WWE to put a WWE ID on. she's got the attributes. She's got everything that she needs. Just little refining and more reps in the ring that will help her progress her forward. But Tessa Blanchard, I thought was excellent in the ring. The way she dominated the ring as well, I thought was great. The way that she also took a few bumps as well and sold for Kelsey Heather as well was really good for her. But at the end of the day, it's Tessa Blanchard. She's on her way to the Knockouts Women's World Championship fight. We all know that's where it's going, but it's interesting to see where they go from there. But Tessa Blanchard picking up the win with Marsha Slamovich backstage watching. Kelsey, yes, she absolutely does have potential. Absolutely, Bobby. I'm excited to see where she goes and what she does. Maybe she can stick around for a little bit longer because TNA, my headphones and my hair are not combining. Hold on, let's fix this. I'm going to go rogue here because my hair, I can see it on the screen and it's starting to piss me off. But yeah, that's better. So it's very much for me. She does have a lot of potential, and I'm excited to see where she goes from here. Maybe TNA keep her out. They need to bolster that Knockouts Championship division. They don't need to go over the Knockouts Championship just yet, but you need to have women wrestlers around instead of relying on WWE for that. Absolutely, I think that's a possibility as well. Just getting reps. I think we can all agree. These women that they brought in for dark matches. We had someone a couple of weeks last week against Marsha Slamovich. I can't remember her name, but she come in and she looked like she was okay, but got done in like 2 minutes for a squash. So maybe some of these women can get a little bit more ring time to help them grow and push themselves a bit more forward. But it's all about waiting and see. Mila Moore, absolutely. Bobby, you've got a brain that is beyond comparison tonight. Literally, if you weren't here, I don't know if I would get any of these right. STG, I missed you. Weirdly enough, STG, I have missed you. I haven't seen you in a few weeks. Hope you're doing well, my friend. I missed winding you up because it's quite easy. But I am the only dependable host. I was going to do it Valentine's Day, but family commitment issues, I was going to do it on my own. But at the same time, who cares? It's TNA. So then we moved into a next segment where it was Joe Hendry. Oh, I missed you too. Me and STG are having a bromance, by the way, people. And Bobby, actually, we're having a 3-way bromance, me, Bobby, and STG. So if you want to get involved in the bromance, you have to turn up. You have to wind each other up. And you have to shit on each other to then love each other. That's the best way I can describe it. Yes, Bobby, I'm going to put your comment up on the screen in 1 second, but we're going to go to a backstage segment of Joe Hendry and Elijah backstage. Joe Hendry saying he's seen this all before, a superstar coming in and then hitting him in the back with the guitar. And Elijah is saying, that is not me. I will not be doing that. We need to make, and I quote, making sweet music. Now that is a duet. I'm really looking forward to seeing it. But yes, absolutely, Bobby. I have a problem with Joe Hendry's title reign at the moment. I'm going to explain it more at the end. But I'm having a bit of an issue, not with Joe Hendry, by the way, with TNA. And I'll explain it more in a little bit from that. But then we got onto the match that I'm not going to lie right now. And I'm going to be very, very honest with the viewers here right now. I might have walked out the room and I might have started cleaning when this match started and then forgot I had TNA on and then refused to rewind. We had Maclin versus Navarro. This is no disrespect to Navarro. This is totally disrespect to the Northern Armory, Eric Young, and the Maclin situation because literally couldn't give two shits about this. That's the issue I have with this storyline. Eric Young ruined this storyline for me last week. I said this on the show last week that I was unhappy with how Eric Young delivered that promo. Very unhappy. I haven't been happy with Eric Young's work since returning to, since I've watched TNA. Found it very boring, found it very stale. I found the whole presentation of this Very boring, very stale. Maclin picked up the win against AJ Francis's little boy, Navarro. It's one of those that... See, the issue is when I start not giving a shit, right? And I'm here with Bobby as well. He doesn't care either. The issue is when I stop giving a shit, it must be bad because I can sit through everything, right? 99%, apart from when they staple things to people's face, that hardcore stuff. Can't do that. But I can sit through most storylines and find a positive and stuff. I don't understand that word. The thinking behind this storyline. It feels like they had months, because we knew in 2024 that Josh Alexander was going to leave. We knew that. So they had time to plan for this. And it still feels like they're rushing shit. And this is my massive complaint about this show. There is a lot of storylines in TNA right now that feels rushed. Feels that they haven't planned for anything. They haven't had a contingency for situations. And they're sort of ruining storylines. I think that's probably... Yeah, I think that there are some storylines that are keeping me entertained. But they have to plan better. They need to go to the school of Triple H to a certain extent. They need to go to a school of Triple H where there's subtle things throughout shows that pique your interest. And you have to watch the product like thoroughly to pick things up. You don't want to go to the Tony Khan school of things, and that's just shocking as it is. But you want to go to Triple H because he's very clever sometimes with majority of his booking, slow building stuff up until the end. And you get a big payoff for it. So I'm interested to see what TNA's plan is. Is Maclin going... The only thing that's keeping me interested is, are they going to do Maclin joining the Northern Armory and Eric Young? But then what's the point in that? Steve Maclin doesn't like anyone. So I'm not... Yeah. And then it was announced straight after that there was a backstage segment that there's going to be Tessa Blanchard versus Léi Yǐng Lee at Sacrifice. And then we had the best commentary line from Tom as well. When the concierge for the Botox by Elegance started talking, and he said something, and then Tom just put your demise with that. And I thought, that is quick. I really like that. But now we're going to move into the TNA Knockouts Women's World Championship, where we had Botox by Elegance versus Spitfire for the TNA Knockouts Women's World Tag Team Championships. I wasn't invested in this match. This is another issue TNA have got, and this is a big issue. And we've discussed this several times on the show, so I'm not going to harp on too much about it. But TNA are struggling for women. They're also struggling for tag team women. So this is the issue they've got now. We know the ending. We saw Botox by Elegance coming out with Mickey Mouse looking gear. It was just a weird match. I wasn't into it as much as I wanted to. It was just what it was. I think that's the best way I can sort of explain that in the best way possible. It was good. It was all right. It will do as it was, but I don't really care. But as we know, Spitfire picked up the win, and they will be having Botox by Elegance. Yeah, I'm agreeing with you. This to go against WWE or indie wrestlers that are women's tag team. Absolutely, I would love Lash by Elegance. Not Lash by Elegance. Metaphor to maybe go after Spitfire. Now you've also got in the women's. You've got Sol Ruka and Zarya that are teaming up now. That could be a good option to send over to TNA. You've got a couple of tag teams over there as well that you could probably send over. But not only that, I think TNA needs to not rely too much and look at the independents. Millie McKenzie, she's in a tag team right now in the independents in the UK and abroad. And she's currently tag team champion, I think, at the last Saw as well. Yes, absolutely. You've got Shotzi, Gigi Doland, and Tatum Paxley. My God, my brain had to work overload there. Yeah, absolutely. I would love to see them come over as well. Gigi's are probably the obvious one to come over because her fiance / husband, I don't know if they're married, is in TNA. So it might be the best option for them to do that as well. So that might be a bit fun. But the Knockouts tag team division is in trouble. And the Knockouts division is also in trouble. So TNA have got a lot of thinking to do and a lot of work to do to get that back on track. Next up, we had the match between Sami Callihan and the long-legged man of Mans Warner. How do I be polite? Why? Why should I give a shit? Anyway, so it ended in no disqualification. Sami Callihan hitting Mans Warner with a chair shot. It then went to a fallout brawl with Mans Warner busted open on the side, and the crowd chanting, "Let them fight!" But why are we doing this, TNA? What's the point? Have a big thing for the social media or the digital media championship. There is no point or rhyme or reason why I should give an absolute shit about this match. But hey ho. We're coming nearer to the end. We had one match before the ending where we're going to get into a little bit more as well. I'm going to play the calendar. If you haven't already seen this, we've got lots of great content creators on this channel, and we've got a lot of great creators in general that do a lot of stuff here. And I want to highlight them as well as much during this show as well if you're watching this back. So please indulge me for 1 minute, 12 seconds where we're going to discuss all things that are coming up this week on our local establishment.
Please note.
Never gonna stop, never gonna change, never gonna do the things you say. I run my own way to get there. Fools are calling that I don't seem to care. In the air, no more crowd, just the opposite kind of few clouds. So tell me this time is coming for the sake of all your lies. Why don't you try to be wise? Know that I need you, why? I never wanted to be alive, just to feel like I'm fading. And though my heart breaks a beat of down, I cross the lens just to tell you. Don't lead the way, don't even say that I drown with a child playing the rain. I feel like I'm fading.
Please note.
Yep, thank you ever so much, ladies and gentlemen, for indulging me on that. Bobby Stats has come back as I've turned lights off. I don't know why I had a full that light there was pissing me off. But he doesn't care either. For the match of Sami Callihan versus Mans Warner. Yeah, I don't care for Sami Callihan. And then Mans Warner, I'm meant to care about, but I'm still not. He's just having an OnlyFans moment at the moment with Steph DeLander, and it's just a bit awkward. But we're going to move on here. We had Ace Austin versus Kazarian, the king of TNA, with Wesley and his jabronis sitting ringside. And I have to say, it was a very entertaining match. Ace Austin is an excellent wrestler to work with. And I think he's an excellent competitor. Still not understanding his story arc. All I'm getting at the moment is they didn't really have a plan after what happened with Chris Bay. Hope you saw on X as well that he's recovering really well as well. So that's excellent to see. That's really great to see that Chris Bay is up and walking and moving around. Magnificent stuff. I don't want to rush him back to the ring anytime soon. So I'm hoping he has a very speedy recovery, and I look forward to seeing what you do next, my friend. I look forward to it. So that absolutely, I would love to see him go after the North American Championship. I think we're going to be getting a new North American champion against Sean Spears, and I think it would be really fun to have Ace Austin versus Sean Spears. Tony D'Angelo as well. But him being over in NXT will be a lot of great matches. You can have him versus Ricky Saints, formerly known as Ricky Starks. That could be a good match. Him versus Javon Evans as well. Bouncy. That would be a great match as well. There's a lot of competitors in NXT I would love to see Ace Austin compete with. That could be a lot of fun. And Chris Bay, when he comes back as well, will be a lot of fun. But now we're going to get into the match where Wesley distracted Ace Austin, and then he did a slingshot cutter Kazarian to pick up the win, where Wesley then got into the ring, beat the shit out of Ace Austin, and then the Weed Boys come down and stop that from going further. Camera is going funny. There we go. And then the Weed Boys come down to stop the attack with chairs, and Wesley and that are all now getting ready and preparing themselves for Sacrifice, which is happening March 14th. To my calculations, I'm not working the next day, so I should be around to do the live show, review show. So, yeah. But we're going to go to the main event now, 6-man tag, where we had the Hardy Boys alongside Obafemi versus the kids of who was it? Who was it? The kids of the System. We had Moose, Myers, and the other one, Hannah Montana's husband, fighting away in the ring, going for it. And they really showcased Obafemi in this match as to be the animal, the beast. And they showcase. TNA, stop Moose doing it. That spear, that Moose, there's no connection to it. It's a front flip spear. That is it. Also, how do I drink out of a bottle with a straw and I still miss my mouth? Anyway, yeah, I physically hate that front flip spear to the extreme bones of it. Yeah, very, very nice to see NXT talent, the ruler of Obafemi on NXT and TNA. Absolutely. I know exactly what you mean, Bobby. But Jeff Hardy seemed to have hurt his knee during that match and then become a bit limp. But we know that this was a taping before the Hardy Boys turned up in NXT to face NQCC, which we now know that at Roadblock, March 11th, it will be the Fraxium versus the Hardy Boys for the TNA Tag Team Championships. Now, we'll get into the match a bit more, but I have got a conspiracy theory for this match. I think we're going to be seeing a 2 out of 3 falls match. I think the Hardy Boys are going to beat Fraxium for the TNA Tag Team Championship. I think because there's going to be some shenanigans. I think that when they do the rematch, it will be Fraxium who pick up the win. And at Stand and Deliver, I think it will be both titles on the line. Excuse me. Both titles on the line. The Hardy Boys versus Fraxium for both titles. And the winner of that will be the one who can bounce between TNA and NXT. And I think we're going to be getting the Hardy Boys winning the tag team championships. And I think they will be the ones to push Fraxium to the main roster and beyond from there. That's how I think that's going. I also thought this match was very good. Obafemi running through the field, doing an absolutely incredible job, showcasing his talent for the world and doing what he does best. The weird-ass spear by Moose on Matt Hardy was able to pick up the win, but that wasn't. It's going to be a nice match. It's going to be fun. It's going to be exciting. I'm very looking forward to that. And I'm really excited for Roadblock. for NXT to really. They've got some excellent matches for Roadblock, absolutely incredible matches for Roadblock. But then after the match, the system were going to then attack Matt Hardy. But then Joe Hendry and Elijah come out and stopped it. And then Santino come out. And this is when Bobby, me and you are going to have this discussion now. Where it has been announced that a sacrifice, it is going to be Jeff Hardy versus Moose for the X Division title in a ladder match. Now, Moose is going to win that. But Jeff Hardy in the ladder match, it's going to be fun. So that is a match you're going to sit back, want to get your popcorn and just relax and enjoy, because that is going to be an excellent, fun match. And then it was also announced that as Sacrifice, we're going to be having a 10-man tag where the System and the Colóns will be facing Joe Hendry, Matt Hardy, and 3 mystery guests. No worries, Ed. Hope you're doing well, my friend. Hope everything's all right with you. Thank you ever so much for joining in the love. Hope everything's all right with you, my friend. And yeah, make sure if you've got time later on, go back, watch the show. So if you haven't, then I'll probably might see you Sunday, or I might see you Saturday. Who knows when I'm going to see you? But Edward, we need to have more screen time together. That's a fact. But yes, so it's going to be announced that Joe Hendry and Matt Hardy are going to be doing a. They need 3 mystery guesses. Now, I'm going to call it now. One of them is Leon Slater. One of them is Elijah. Now, this is when I struggle, because I don't think it's going to be Obafemi. I don't know why. I just don't think it's going to be Obafemi. But then who could it be? Could it be another NXT? Trick Williams? It could be Trick, because he has a favor with Joe Hendry in NXT. Who could be? Help me, people. Help me, people. Someone help me. I'm not really sure where they're going to go with that. I'm interested to see what the thinking could potentially be for the third one. You got Joe Hendry, you got Elijah, you got Leon Slater, you got Joe Hendry, Matt Hardy, Leon Slater, Elijah. Who's the 5th one? Or Matt Hardy picks Fraxium? Yeah, but which one? Yeah, but why would he pick Fraxium? Because they're going to battle that 3 days before? Because March 11th is Roadblock, and March 14th is Sacrifice. So it wouldn't make unless Obafemi does it. That could be another option. But then would you want the TNA World Heavyweight Champion and the NXT World Heavyweight Champion, unless you're going to do something fancy where Obafemi could be the one to dethrone Oba and hold both golds? Not sure on this one. This is the 5th member is the one that I really struggle with. And I've been thinking about this most of the day, and I still can't work out exactly where we're going to go with that. So that is up for TNA to decide. Overall thoughts on the show wasn't bad, wasn't great. A lot of dead air at points where matches I really couldn't care about happened. A lot of things were there that just I couldn't give 2 hoots about. But at the same time, it was good to see a lot of wrestling on the card. A lot of things happened. And I thoroughly enjoyed it. But if you haven't already, if you don't know who I am, my name's Mark Talks Wrestling and Mark Talks Football. And I also had a former channel called Mark Talks Gaming, which is still up there if you want to go back. But I recently did a live like a week or so ago, F175 live at the O2, where we did a watch along and we got up on the screens as well. The cars that were announced. We've just finished a testing of Formula One. And not much to talk about. Absolutely. Still enjoying the crossover. You expect the unexpected at this point from NXT and TNA. And it's great to show that they're not just showing young talent, they're showing all talent. And that is great to see from that as well. And if you don't know, Sacrifice is coming up. And we will be doing, most probably next week's show, we will be doing our predictions for Sacrifice, because these is the leaderboard so far for this series. Me and Brett are tied second with the viewers winning this at the moment, and Astrid at the bottom of this. So we will be seeing how we get going. Get involved. Come back next week where we will be doing the predictions as well as a little bit of an overview of the last show before Sacrifice. I think it will be the last show before Sacrifice, March. Yeah, it will be the last show before Sacrifice. But also as well on Mark Talks Wrestling, it is WrestleMania season. We're coming to the very end of WWE 2K24, where the final few matches are coming to fruition. We had a fun match here today where the TNA World Heavyweight Championship of Bron Breakker went one-on-one against the giant Omos, who has been running run shot through TNA ever since Bobby brought him into the Bun Maye Fight Club and he defeated Brock Lesnar. Tomorrow, we will be having a women's battle royal to determine the general manager who will gain their momentum for Money in the Bank. And on Sunday, we will be doing Champions All versus Royal Rumble winners. If you haven't seen the Royal Rumble, I'm going to spoil it, so make sure you click off now. If you have seen it, then you know that this Sunday it will be Pat McAfee who won the Royal Rumble going against the WWE United Kingdom champion of Pete Dunne, and also using the win that he did against Roman Reigns in the tribal combat. Jacob Fatu will be a triple threat match for the WWE UK Championship. Not only that, the Women's Royal Rumble winner Emina Shirakawa will be going one-on-one with Stardom World Champion Rhea Ripley. Also, on March the 7th, I'm going to stress this, March the 7th, there will be a WWE draft. That is the day the game releases. And the next 2 days after that, we will be showcasing some of our superstars in some fun events. And then, starting Monday, March the 8th, 9th, 10th, will be the start of Universe Mode. So make sure you are here for that. But which NXT talent would you like to see on TNA that hasn't appeared? Ooh. I can't pronounce his name, but the tag partner that Josh Briggs has got, him and Josh Briggs, I would like to see him on there. I think it would be quite fresh to have Tony D'Angelo probably go on to TNA with Stax and them lot. Who else? Women's wise, Julia could be quite fun to have her in TNA, or Stephanie Vaquer, Jordan Grace. Well, no, I don't want to see her. I want her on the main roster. We've got Cora Jade there. I want to say if I had to pick one, it'd be Sol Ruka and Zarya. That is the one I would love to see on that show as well. But also as well, if you haven't seen it already, down below is our local establishments banner where there is all the socials for them. So make sure if you haven't followed us for instant news or reactions or anything that's happened, make sure you go and check that out. Not only that, here is Brett's stuff as well. He is an absolutely incredible YouTuber and streamer, and his brains is brilliant as anything. After the show last week, we were backstage, and he cracked a joke that made me nearly wet myself and cry with laughter. So make sure you go and check him out as well. Make sure you go and cheer up the illness that is Astrid Pizarro as well. Oh, yes. Rich Holland, 100%. Completely forgot about that. And also, here is my social as well. Thank you ever so much for Bobby Stats for being here. Thank you for Ed for dropping in. Thank you to STG as well. Thank you for Bobby Munson as well for being here for the start of the show. But we're going to end it there. 49 minutes in. Solo show. Talking shit for 49 minutes. People say it can never be done. And I have to say, you haven't met me if you don't think it could be done. We're going to end it here today. We will see you guys tomorrow for Elimination Chamber plus other shows as well. I will be back for tomorrow for Elimination Chamber review. I will also be back Sunday with Bobby Munson, potentially with Ed and Andre as well, to talk all things Formula One testing, WWE, Reading Football Club, Manchester United, NBA, all of those type of things. Sports for everyone. Thank you guys ever so much for watching. And I'll see you guys for a next TNA review next Friday. Peace.
What you think about when you're born into a fire? Let them burn it out. Sell them to the richest buyer. They wanna let the world decay. They tell us lies.